Let's stop right here. This one requires a little bit more explanation. It's February and my friend Roel and I, we meet in Inverness, Scotland to go ice climbing for a week. But a week before we arrive, everything melts. Not just ice, but all of the snow. I've seen more snow in Scotland in April. We arrived to Torridon with 35 kilograms of ice climbing gear on our backs, and we look like someone plucked us out of winter and put us back in the summer. This is not at all the weather that I expected. It's February, it's raining, it's plus 10 degrees, and we came to go ice climbing. Good luck with that. We stick around for a couple of days in Torridon, but obviously we knew that we are not going to be ice climbing on that trip. What do you say?
I don't know, because it's going around and when you look over there you see nothing but rain and there will be a lot of wind, so...
Around?
I don't know.
It's time for the daily avalanche report. Let's sample the snow a little bit. Yeah, it's a bit mushy. Hazard is extremely low. The rain and wind in Scotland are relentless, and it feels like water is coming out of every hole in the ground. This too was a fairly small stream in the morning, but after a day of rain, it grew into a full-blown river. I don't think there's any doubt on what is going on here right now. It's basically raining all day. So in the morning we crossed this river that is running next to our tents. Coming back, it was so much bigger. It was almost impossible to ford it. I have absolutely no idea what we're doing here. One thing is sure, this is definitely not ice climbing weather. We spent a couple of nights in our tents and it's pouring rain there. On the third day we decide that we've had enough. We get back into a rental car and we drive to Isle of Skye. Roel has had enough, so he wants to stay indoors, but I want to have an adventure. He drops me off at Hotel Sligahan and I run to Loch Corruisk, or that at least was the plan. It's day 3 and it's still raining. I try to sleep, but the wind and rain are literally beating up the tent. And at some point during the night I feel that something shifts underneath me. I open up the tent and I see that water is flowing underneath the tent. Holy crap! And if all of that was not enough, the wind direction shifts during the night and my tent becomes a sail. I literally have to lean on the side of the tent with all of my weight to prevent wind from picking it up. What is going on? So now it's already next day and I still continue towards Loch Corruisk, but when I get to the ridge from which I would descend towards the lake, things get even worse. The wind is so strong that there's this little pond and the water is sloshing out of that pond onto the trail and down the mountain. I'm exhausted, I didn't sleep all night, I've had it. I call Roel and I say, hey, can you come and pick me up at the Hotel Sligahan? We'll figure out what to do for the rest of our trip. Nice trail, huh? This trail on the way back to Sligahan literally became a stream. This is probably one of the last places on earth that will run out of water. This actually I could hop on the rocks yesterday, had my feet dry. Woohoo! Proper fording of a proper river. The following night, I joined Roel in a hostel in Portree. I guess this is a regular Thursday morning event for the sheep in Portree to sneak in and eat the neighbor's bushes. And that's the ultimate look of innocence, like, oh, we didn't do anything. What are you looking at? We're just hanging around in the parking lot waiting for the Morrison to come out. We decide to drive to Rubahunish, look for the bothy there. The bothy at Rubahunish is in an absolutely amazing place. It's just a little bit away from the edge of a cliff that is probably like 50 to 100 meters above sea. So the views are amazing, and the main room there has windows on 3 sides. The weather clears up a little bit in the afternoon, so we just fool around. We spot a seal that looks equally surprised to see us, and we watch the currents as they converge at the tip of the island. Rubahunish is a beautiful spot, but the next day we decide to drive back to Sligahan and hike out to Kamansuri, which is on the opposite side of Loch Goroisk, just across the hill. We pitched right here. It hasn't been raining for like 15 minutes and there's already cracks in the soil. Demanding Scottish soil. On the last night, we get up at 3 a.m, hike back to the car, and then we drive back to Inverness to catch our morning flight. That trip was a blast, even though we actually didn't get to do any ice climbing. But we'll definitely have to come again when there is ice there.